Hillary
yes.
Calvert has the floor.
Mr. Chair, thank you. And I'd like to start by commending the honourable member on the other side of the House who has spent much time this evening talking about tikanga and making it clear to all of us that this is not something that we all know means a particular thing, that it has different meanings to different people and should not be, in our opinion, therefore used as a word defined in this bill. I want to talk here about special resource management rights which are not available to other landowners under this bill. We have an example of how muddled this whole thing is. The National Party and the Māori Party have invented a whole new property right. They had available to them freehold title, and they had available to them the courts to determine whether people had common law property rights and could grant a freehold title. They could have done that, Mr. Chair, but instead they choose to produce a whole new property right. On one hand, it's less than freehold and it doesn't allow to do the lot of things that we're able to do usually in a freehold title and that somebody who owns something would usually be able to do. On the other hand, it gives customary title holders a whole lot more than private landowners. The Resource Management Act denies those who have scrimped and saved to buy their own property the right to use their land as they wish. Meanwhile, those with customary title, which it's clear may arise in the future as a political gift rather than by a process of law, are given special rights to do what they like and undue influence to veto much-needed economic development. Of course, we could anticipate many developments will be allowed to go ahead at a price. Most submitters who expressed a view on these special rights believe that it is a strong likelihood that title holders will charge for the granting of these rights. This will make many possible commercial activities too expensive to undertake. When an otherwise economic activity becomes uneconomic, everybody is worse off. All this on land they, according to the government, don't own freehold. In short, these clauses allow a customary title holder the right to give or withhold permission for activities that resource consent's required for on any grounds, with no right of appeal or objection, to demand fees from any and all comers for permissions without limit, and to define wahitapu areas to control not merely the use of a wahitapu site, but the possibility of the use of such areas by the payment of koha. These rights are not available to any other... Excuse me? Koha? Koha? These rights are not available to any other New Zealanders. We should not have special laws based on race in New Zealand. The bill still allows iwi to have special conservation permission rights that can be declined or given for special conservation activities. The Environmental Defence Society, who came along to the submission process in good faith, I might add, did a very good job of summing up the argument against this. They, like many, object to the gifting of far stronger rights than those of private landowners. There is also a huge conflict of interest for many iwi here. Those with financial interests in aquaculture and commercial fishing could not be expected to be able to make impartial or rational decisions on the extension of marine reserves. Under sub-part 3 of Part 3, there is a right for a customary marine title holder to prepare its own planning documents, and the preparation of these planning documents are a serious issue. They can include all areas where the customary marine title holder... Mr Chair.
I call David